Good evening, everyone. Great to be up here. My name's Anthony Furey. For the past 15 years, I've had the privilege of being a newspaper columnist, radio show host, television host. Now, as you may have heard, I'm running to be mayor of Toronto. Thank you so much for that. And, you know, I want to have a conversation the next few months here in Toronto. I want to have a conversation about who really runs this city. Because there's been some misconceptions lately. Who runs this city? Is it the lobbyists? Is it the big corporations? Is it those nutty fringe activists? Do they just show up at City Hall, you get a dozen of them, they kick and scream, and then City Hall caves and they get what they want right away? Is that who runs this city? Or is it the hockey moms? Is it the folks stuck in the Gardner all day? And is it the small and medium businesses who have taken a beating the past couple years but continue to persevere? And that's the conversation I want to have the next few months as we talk about who really runs this town. And let's correct things, let's fix things, and realign the power dynamic. And I'm looking forward to having some conversations about other issues, some big, bold ideas that are going to get people talking. So if you want to learn more, please go to furey.ca. That's F-U-R-E-Y. And I'd love to tell you more about all my plans in the weeks ahead. But this evening, we're here to honor some pretty remarkable people. I can tell you one thing, though. I don't know if you've noticed. There's this controversial campaign if you go in the subway stations. It's called Alberta is Calling. And they want you to move to Alberta. We love Toronto. I'm running to be mayor of Toronto. I love Toronto. I want you all to stay here. Alberta's a beautiful place, but I want you to stay here. Alberta is calling, and they're trying to poach our nurses. We love our nurses. They're trying to poach all of our professionals, our engineers. We love our engineers. So Danielle Smith, remarkable, and inspiration for me running for mayor. Danielle Smith, as you know, is a radio show host, newspaper columnist, amazing, so talented. And I'm just so happy she's Alberta Premier. But I hate to break it to her that one of my first acts as mayor is I don't know, I haven't thought this policy out yet. We'll see if it comes true, but I may have to ban those ads from the TTC. And there's another really amazing person here who's also an inspiration for me. And should I have the honor of serving as mayor of Toronto, I hope that integrity can be something that I always guide myself with. And there's a number of inspirations for what integrity means. Jamil Javani worked as a radio show host at Bell Media. He was a fantastic radio show host. So many powerful ideas, so many unique voices he brought on his program. It was such an inspiration, such a popular program. He brought new voices. He was particularly interested in empowering black voices who weren't necessarily getting the attention and the time on the airwaves that they deserve. Lots of empowering stuff going on in that program. But then there was a time when he had a bit of a disagreement with his employer, sometimes happens, and they said, all right, you got a decision to make here. You got a decision to make. And I'm reading from the National Post story right here, because Mr. Javani commenced a lawsuit with Bell Media, and as the National Post story describes it, Javani's lawsuit alleges he was pressured by management to record a radio segment denouncing Canada as a racist country in the lead up to Canada Day. And Jamil Javani said no. At 16 years old, Jamil Javani, growing up in a Toronto immigrant community, was labeled illiterate by the public school system. But Jamil, determined to turn his life around with the support of role models and mentors he surrounded himself with, he went on to graduate from Yale Law School, teach at Osgoode Hall Law School, dedicate his career to supporting youth facing challenges like he did growing up. Jamil's leadership has been recognized with awards from many foundations. Most recently, at 31 years old, he waged a real battle. Jamil survived a fight with stage 4 cancer. This guy's a fighter. And that gave him even greater insights into how people can overcome adversity. His first book was called Why Young Men? the dangerous allure of violent movements and what we can do about it. His writings regularly appear in the National Post and other publications, and more recently, and parents will be very happy to hear this, he has become a strong advocate for advocating for excellence in education for youths of all walks of life. In 2019, Jamil Javani acted as a special advisor to the Premier of Ontario, and he now works as the president of the Canada Strong and Free Network, where he has become one of the leaders of the country's center-right movement and mentors to many young persons in politics. A man I deeply admire, a great Canadian, and when it comes to integrity, a personal hero of mine. It is an honor to give the Truth to Power Award to Jamil Javani.